The Inner Child's Bedtime, Holding Yourself with Gentle Presence. Purpose: to help readers reconnect with their vulnerable, younger selves at bedtime in a gentle, nurturing way. This book offers emotional healing through soothing bedtime reflections, making space for deep inner peace and personal transformation. How about tonight? Let your inner child sleep in peace, knowing they are finally heard, loved, and safe. Chapter outline: Meeting your inner child at night. Listening without judgment. Rewriting the stories you believed as a child. The bedtime apology, healing the hurts you carried alone. Tucking in the fear, embracing safety through self-talk. A lullaby of worthiness. Playing again in your dreams. Reclaiming joy, one gentle night at a time. Whispers of forgiveness and understanding. Becoming the parent you always needed. Chapter 1: Meeting your inner child at night. Tonight, let your inner child sleep in peace, knowing they are finally heard, loved, and safe. As the day draws to a close, the world begins to slow. The noise subsides. The obligations fall away. The external masks we wear during the day of strength, of certainty, of composure are gently set down beside us. In this sacred space of twilight, a quiet truth begins to emerge. Beneath all the roles, responsibilities, and expectations lives someone smaller, gentler, and deeply vulnerable. That someone is your inner child. The inner child is the tender part of you who still remembers what it felt like to be dependent, afraid, hopeful, curious, or lonely. This part of you carries your first experiences with joy and with pain, your early memories of being loved, being rejected, being praised, being overlooked. Most of us have never been formally taught how to care for this part of ourselves. We grow up, but our inner child often remains waiting for love, for validation, for safety, for someone to say, "You matter." And so tonight, we begin a new practice. We begin meeting this part of ourselves with gentle presence. What is gentle presence? Gentle presence is not a performance. It is not fixing. It is not pretending. It is simply being there. Like a warm blanket wrapped around your shoulders, it is the energy of kindness, offered freely without expectation. Gentle presence is the way a loving adult comforts a child who is scared of the dark, not by turning on all the lights or explaining away their fear, but by sitting close and saying, "I'm here. You're safe. I won't leave." When you give yourself gentle presence, you are extending that same loving awareness to your own emotional needs. You begin to hold space for the child within you who may have been misunderstood, silenced, or shamed. It's never too late to come home to yourself. Night is the bridge to healing. You may not realize it, but your inner child often comes alive at night. Perhaps you feel anxious as you lie in bed, with a tightness in your chest or a restlessness in your legs. Perhaps your mind replays mistakes or echoes of long-forgotten voices that criticized or dismissed you. This is not random. These nighttime thoughts are often unspoken emotions from your childhood, finally surfacing when everything else becomes still. But here's the most beautiful part: night is also your most powerful time for healing. When you choose to meet your inner child at bedtime, not with distraction, but with compassion, you create a ritual of renewal. You no longer silence your pain. You listen to it with love. And in doing so, you begin to rewrite the emotional script you've carried for years. The first step, a sacred pause. Let tonight be different. Instead of brushing off your emotions or rushing into sleep, pause. Just for a moment. Place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Breathe in slowly. Exhale gently. Allow your shoulders to relax. Let your mind soften. Now imagine this. A younger version of you is standing at the edge of your bed. They look up at you with wide, uncertain eyes. They've been waiting for this moment for you to finally see them, truly see them. What do you notice about them? How old are they? What are they feeling? Don't rush. Simply be there. Sit beside them in your imagination. No words are necessary yet. Just your presence is enough. A simple mantra to anchor you. When you meet your inner child at night, speak these words softly. You are safe now. I am here. I won't leave you. These words may seem simple, but they are powerful. They are the words your younger self may have longed to hear. They are the emotional anchor you can return to, night after night, until your inner child begins to trust that the love they waited for has finally arrived from you. This is not just an emotional practice. It is a spiritual one. Every time you choose to show up with gentle presence, you realign with your soul's deepest truth: you are worthy of love, exactly as you are. Creating a nightly ritual of love. You don't need elaborate steps. Just intention. Here's a gentle bedtime ritual to meet your inner child. Set the mood, dim the lights. Light a candle or play soft music. Let your environment feel safe and soothing. Invite the connection, close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. Invite your inner child to come forward. Listen without words, pay attention to the feelings that arise. Maybe sadness. Maybe joy. Maybe fear. Let it be. No fixing, just witnessing. Speak loving words, say to yourself, I see you. I hear you. I'm sorry you felt alone. You are loved now. You can rest. Visualize safety. Imagine tucking your inner child into bed. Wrap them in a warm blanket of light. Let them sleep in peace. Subliminal message for self-enrichment. While your conscious mind reads these words, your subconscious is already absorbing something deeper. You are not alone. You can create safety from within. You no longer have to prove your worth. You are allowed to be soft, to be still, to be enough. Every night you repeat this ritual, you are rewiring your nervous system for calm. You are rewriting your story from survival to sanctuary. You are raising yourself again with love this time. Your inner child's gift. As you nurture this connection, something remarkable begins to happen. The inner child within you will start to respond. You may notice more playfulness, more ease, more creativity during the day. You may find yourself smiling for no reason, feeling lighter, standing taller. That's because your inner child, no longer hidden or hurt, is beginning to feel safe to shine. And with every gentle bedtime moment, you are reminding yourself, I am not broken. I am becoming whole. Tonight's gentle reflection. Before sleep, take a moment to whisper this to yourself. Dear younger me, I've come back for you. You never deserved to feel alone. You are not too much. You are not forgotten. I love you now and always. Rest now, my sweet inner child. I'm here. Let these words wrap around your heart like a warm hug. Let your breath carry this comfort into your dreams. Let your inner child know, for the first time perhaps, that it's finally safe to rest. Chapter 2, Listening Without Judgment. Tonight, become the safe space your younger self always wished existed, a place where every feeling is welcomed, and every wound is honored. There's a sacred magic in being listened to. Not with interruptions. Not with solutions. But with presence. With love. With no agenda. Now imagine if your inner child, your most tender, raw, honest self was finally heard in that way. How would it feel to know that nothing you say, feel, or remember will be dismissed, criticized, or shamed? That's what it means to listen without judgment. Tonight, we deepen our connection with our inner child by becoming that kind of listener. The kind we rarely had. The kind we always needed. The wounds of being dismissed. For many, Childhood was full of small moments that left big impressions. You cried, and someone told you to stop. You were afraid, and someone laughed. You were excited, and someone scolded you for being too much. These moments add up. Over time, we learn that some emotions are bad or inconvenient. So we bury them. We silence our inner child before anyone else can. But that voice doesn't disappear, it retreats. It hides in our anxiety. It whispers through our restlessness. It screams in our self-doubt. So much of our emotional exhaustion stems not from what we feel but from the effort it takes to suppress what we feel. Tonight, you give yourself permission to stop suppressing. You become the listener you once prayed for. A loving witness to your own heart. The gift of pure presence. Listening without judgment means offering your attention with compassion, not commentary. It means replacing harshness with warmth, analysis with curiosity. To listen like this, you don't need to fix or explain anything. You only need to hold space. What does that mean? It means when a difficult memory arises, you don't push it away. When a tear wells up, you don't shame it. When a fear speaks, you don't argue with it. You listen. Like holding the hand of a crying child without rushing them to stop crying, you stay. You breathe. You open. In doing this, you send a powerful subliminal message to your inner self. All of me is welcome here. The inner dialogue shift. Take a moment to reflect. How do you usually speak to yourself? Do you criticize yourself for feeling too much? Do you rush to solve instead of soothe? Do you silence parts of yourself to stay in control? Imagine if, instead, your inner voice sounded like this. It makes sense that you feel this way. I'm not here to judge, I'm here to understand. Tell me everything. I want to hear it all. These aren't just comforting phrases. They're reprogramming tools. They shift your relationship with your past from resistance to reconciliation. Nighttime listening practice. Let's build a nightly ritual around listening without judgment. Here's how you can begin. Set the space, dim the lights, sit or lie down comfortably, and breathe deeply for a few minutes to settle your body. Invite your inner child to speak. In your mind's eye, visualize your younger self sitting beside you. Ask gently, "Is there anything you want to share with me tonight?" Listen with an open heart, let feelings or memories rise. Don't rush them. Don't evaluate them. Let them exist. Respond with compassion. If your inner child shares something painful, say, "That must have been so hard for you. I'm so sorry you went through that. I'm here now." Close with assurance. Remind your inner child at the end. "You don't have to carry this alone anymore. I'm staying with you. You are not a burden." Repeat this as often as needed. Some nights, much will surface. Other nights, silence may speak volumes. Either way, presence is healing. Subliminal enrichment message. As you begin to listen without judgment, your subconscious absorbs new truths. My emotions are valid. I don't need to hide my truth to be loved. My presence is enough. My pain is not too much. I can trust myself to stay when things get hard. Every time you offer compassion to your younger self, you soften the inner critic. You dissolve years of internalized shame. You reclaim your power to heal from within. The role of curiosity. Judgment closes doors. Curiosity opens them. When your inner child shares something confusing or painful, try replacing judgment with questions like, "What did that moment feel like for you? What did you wish someone had said or done? What are you still afraid of?" Curiosity isn't about interrogation, it's about connection. It tells your inner child, "Your story matters to me. I want to know you better." In this open-hearted inquiry, your inner child blossoms. They begin to trust again. They begin to feel safe. Healing is slow, and that's okay. Some nights, listening will feel easy. Other nights, it may feel overwhelming. Memories may come up that you haven't thought about in decades. You might cry. You might resist. That's all part of the process. Healing is not linear. It's not fast. It's not always gentle. But it is always worth it. And you never have to do it perfectly. You just have to show up. Your inner child doesn't need a superhero. They just need you to sit beside them, to hear their story, and to whisper softly, "I'm not going anywhere." Tonight's reflection. Before you sleep tonight, speak these words slowly. Dear younger me, I am ready to listen now. I won't rush you. I won't correct you. I will not shame what you feel. You are safe to speak. I will hold every word you say with love. I will stay present until you feel whole again. Let these words sink into your body. Let them echo through your nervous system. Let them replace the old voices that once silenced you. You are no longer the child waiting to be heard. You are the loving listener now. You are the safe haven you've always needed. And tonight, as your inner child rests, they will feel it deep in their being. I am no longer alone. Chapter 3, Rewriting the Stories You Believed as a Child. Tonight, you are not just tucking yourself in, you are untangling old narratives and rewriting them with truth, compassion, and love. Childhood is not just a time of firsts, it is the soil where stories take root. Some of these stories are beautiful and empowering. I am loved, I belong, I can dream. But others, often unconsciously written through pain or silence, whisper beliefs like, I am too much. My feelings don't matter. I'm only lovable when I'm perfect. It's my fault. These silent scripts shape how we show up in the world. They become the inner monologue that runs in the background of our lives, especially in the quiet moments before sleep. We don't even realize these old stories are still operating until we pause to listen. Tonight, we begin to rewrite them. Not by pretending they never existed, but by meeting them with compassion, examining their truth, and gently letting go of the lies we no longer need to carry. How stories get written in childhood. As children, we are literal and emotional. We interpret the world not with logic, but through the lens of survival. If a parent is distracted, we may believe we're unlovable. If a teacher shames us, we may internalize that we're not smart. If our needs go unmet, we might assume it's because we don't deserve anything better. These beliefs become the truths we unconsciously build our lives around. We begin to filter every experience through them. Rejection confirms we're not enough. Love feels conditional. Success feels like a mask hiding unworthiness. These are not facts. They are stories. And the beautiful news is this: stories can be rewritten. The power of awareness. The first step to rewriting your inner child's stories is awareness. You cannot change a story you're not aware of. Tonight, ask yourself gently, what beliefs about myself began in childhood? When I make a mistake, what do I automatically say to myself? What truths feel heavy, limiting, or painful? Don't judge your answers. Just observe them like a wise, kind guardian. Your inner child isn't trying to deceive you, they were just trying to make sense of a confusing world. And now, with adult awareness, you can lovingly correct the record. The Healing Rewrite Ritual. Here's a simple but powerful bedtime process to help you identify and rewrite childhood stories. Step 1. Name the story. Close your eyes and bring to mind a time in childhood when you felt small, ashamed, or hurt. What belief did you internalize in that moment? For example, I'm not important. I ruin things. No one really sees me. Step 2. Validate the emotion. Acknowledge how that belief protected you at the time. Say, "Of course I believed that. I was trying to understand the world with a child's heart. That belief helped me survive, but I no longer need to carry it." Step 3. Rewrite the narrative. Now speak a new, truthful, loving statement over that old story. Say, "I am important. My presence matters. I am allowed to make mistakes and still be lovable. I see myself now. I will never abandon me again." Repeat this new truth out loud. Let it become the new lullaby that tucks your heart into safety each night. Subliminal enrichment message. As you rewrite these inner stories, your subconscious begins to absorb new programming. I am the author of my identity, not a victim of my past. I have permission to outgrow old beliefs. I am not defined by what happened to me, but by what I choose to believe now. Each night is a fresh page to write a more compassionate story. This subtle but powerful shift creates space for emotional freedom. What once felt fixed becomes fluid. What once felt painful becomes purposeful. Becoming the loving narrator. You are not erasing the past, you are re-narrating it with truth and care. Instead of letting the wounded inner child tell the story alone, your wise adult self now steps in as the loving narrator. You were never too much. You were expressive and curious. You were never a problem. You were a child learning how to cope. You weren't invisible. They just didn't know how to see you. But I do now. This internal shift transforms shame into softness. It invites your nervous system to rest. It allows your dreams to become places of peace, not replayed trauma. Letting go without erasing. Sometimes we fear that rewriting our stories means betraying the past or our pain. But healing is not betrayal, it's honoring what was without letting it define what is. You can love the version of you who believed they were unworthy and still choose to believe otherwise now. You can honor the child who felt neglected and still refuse to carry that narrative into your adulthood. Let go, not with anger or denial, but with deep love. Say, "Thank you for helping me survive. But now I'm ready to thrive." Tonight's reflection practice. Lie down comfortably. Place a hand on your heart. Breathe deeply. Invite a memory of an old belief from childhood that still lingers. Gently speak to your inner child. "I know you believed insert belief, but that's not true anymore. Here's what I know now, insert empowering belief. Repeat your new truth softly, like a loving bedtime song. You are not a burden. You are a blessing. You are safe now. You are deeply loved. Let these words guide you into sleep. Let your subconscious hold them like stars in the sky. Let every breath affirm that you are free to tell a new story starting tonight." Final words before sleep. Dear one, every old story can be rewritten. Not because it wasn't real, but because you are realier now. Stronger. Wiser. More loving. Your inner child no longer has to carry the burden of misunderstanding. You, their adult self, have returned. Not with blame but with balm. So as you drift into rest, repeat softly. "I release what no longer serves me. I welcome the story of truth, love, and worth. My past is not my prison. It is my passage. I am the author now. And I choose to heal." Sleep peacefully, knowing you are not a story someone else wrote. You are a masterpiece, still unfolding with love. Chapter 4, The Bedtime Apology, Healing the Hurts You Carried Alone. Tonight, let the words you never heard become the lullaby that soothes your soul. You deserve the apology that was never given, and you have the power to give it to yourself. There's a unique ache that lives within many of us, the ache of carrying pain alone. Not just the pain of what happened, but the silence that followed. The lack of comfort. The absence of someone saying, "That should never have happened to you. I'm sorry you had to go through that." When we're children, we don't always have the words to process what we experience. Instead, we store pain in the body, in the nervous system, in the unspoken spaces of our hearts. A harsh word, a broken promise, a cold shoulder, a betrayal, or even the quiet neglect of our needs can imprint us in lasting ways. And without anyone there to validate or soothe those wounds, we learn to survive by burying them. But survival is not the same as healing. And tonight, under the soft hush of night, we create space for something beautiful to unfold, a bedtime apology. Not out of guilt, but out of deep love. This apology is not about blame. It's about liberation. It's about freeing your inner child from carrying hurts that were never theirs to bear. Why the apology matters. You may wonder, why apologize at all? Isn't the past over? The truth is, the heart doesn't always live by the clock. Unspoken pain can live in us for decades. And sometimes, what our inner child needed most wasn't for someone to make it right, but simply to say, "I'm sorry you were hurt. I believe you. I care." Many of us never received those words. And as a result, we internalized that our pain didn't matter, or worse, that we were the problem. But the truth is this. You were never too sensitive. You were never wrong for needing love. You were never meant to carry it alone. Tonight, you break that cycle. Tonight, you bring the comfort and recognition that were missing. And in doing so, you begin to unburden your heart. The wounds that linger. Let's gently acknowledge some common wounds that often go unspoken. Emotional neglect, when no one asked how you were feeling, or you were expected to be strong all the time. Verbal abuse or criticism, when harsh words were used instead of guidance. Dismissal of your dreams or fears, when your imagination or your worries were mocked instead of understood. Feeling responsible for others' emotions, when you had to be the peacemaker or caregiver at too young an age. Loneliness, even when surrounded by people, you felt unseen. These wounds may not have left physical scars, but they left imprints. And every time you ignored your feelings, belittled yourself, or feared expressing a need, those wounds echoed. But now, you are no longer powerless. You are no longer that child without support. You are the loving adult your younger self has been waiting for. The bedtime apology ritual. This is your moment of healing. Your chance to say the words you always needed to hear. Not from someone else, but from you. The most important voice in your healing is your own. Step 1. Create a safe space. Dim the lights. Sit or lie in a quiet, calm environment. Breathe slowly and deeply, settling your nervous system. Step 2. Visualize your younger self. See them clearly. It could be the 5-year-old you, or maybe the teenager who felt lost. Invite them into your heart. Let them know you're here. Step 3. Speak the apology. Whisper it aloud or write it down. Let it flow from your heart. You might say, "I'm so sorry no one was there when you needed them. I'm sorry you had to carry that pain in silence. I'm sorry your tears weren't comforted. You didn't deserve what happened. It wasn't your fault. I see you now. I hear you. I'm here for you." Let yourself cry if you need to. There is strength in softness. There is power in mourning what you never got and healing through self-compassion. Subliminal enrichment message. As you offer this heartfelt apology to your inner child, your subconscious begins to absorb these transformational truths. I no longer need to carry unhealed pain in silence. I have the power to comfort myself now. My emotions are sacred. My story matters. Self-compassion is the doorway to true peace. These messages gently shift your identity from someone who survived to someone who is softening, strengthening, and blossoming. Reparenting through apology. What would a loving parent say to a hurting child? I'm so proud of how strong you've been. You didn't have to figure it all out alone. I'm here now. We'll do this together. You are lovable, even with your pain. You're allowed to rest now. Say those words to your inner child. And say them often. Not once, not twice, but every night if needed. Healing is not a single event. It's a steady rhythm of tenderness. Over time, your inner child will start to believe the love you're offering. They'll stop bracing for rejection. They'll soften, open, and trust. The liberation of letting go. With every apology, a burden is released. Not because the past is erased, but because you've finally been heard. You may notice. Your body feels lighter. Your dreams become calmer. You react with more compassion toward yourself. You stop needing external validation to feel enough. Why? Because your inner child is no longer waiting for someone else to show up. You've arrived. And your presence, gentle, loving, unwavering, is more powerful than any apology that never came. Tonight's reflection: speak to your inner child. Before sleep, hold your heart and whisper, I am so sorry for the times you were afraid and alone. I'm sorry no one explained or comforted you. I'm here now. I'll never ignore your pain. You are so loved, so valued, so beautiful. You don't have to carry this anymore. I will carry you. Sleep now, wrapped in truth and safety. Let your breath slow. Let the softness fill you. Let the apology wrap around your younger self like the blanket they always wished for. And as you drift into sleep, know this. You are healing. You are held. You are home. Chapter 5, Tucking in the Fear, Embracing Safety Through Self-Talk. Tonight, become the voice your inner child always needed. Let your words become the lullaby that calms every trembling thought, wraps every fear in warmth, and whispers, you are safe now. Fear is one of the first emotions we ever feel. As children, fear is a constant companion. We fear the dark, being left alone, not being good enough, being scolded, not being loved. But what's more frightening than fear itself is when no one helps us hold it. When a child is met with dismissiveness, don't cry, stop being dramatic, you'll be fine. They learn to push fear down. But buried fear doesn't disappear. It lingers in the background, shaping how we respond to the world as adults. The result? We often grow up feeling unsafe, even when nothing around us is threatening. Tonight, that changes. Because tonight, you learn how to tuck in your fear with the power of loving, safe self-talk, the kind of voice that doesn't suppress or scold, but soothes. Fear is a signal, not a flaw. Let's begin here. Fear is not a sign of weakness. It is not a defect in your personality. Fear is a signal, a message from your inner world saying, I need safety. I need reassurance. I need to know I'm not alone. When we were children, many of us didn't get those reassurances. We may have been afraid at night, and no one came. We may have feared rejection, and no one explained it wasn't our fault. We may have feared failure, and someone responded with pressure instead of patience. So the child inside us learned that fear is not welcome. But tonight, you are invited to welcome fear as a guest, not a threat. And you'll learn how to speak to that fear with gentleness, like tucking a frightened child into bed and whispering, it's okay. I've got you. Understanding the inner landscape of fear. Fear can show up in many forms. That tight feeling in your chest before making a decision. The anxiety that creeps in when things go too well. The fear of disappointing others or being left out. the panic that arises when you feel alone. These are echoes of old experiences. Not evidence of weakness, but proof that your inner child still carries stories that haven't been soothed. When you become the inner parent who notices and calms these fears, you reclaim your power. The power of self-talk. Your internal dialogue can either inflame fear or ease it. Compare these two inner voices. Why am I like this? I should be over it by now. This is a scared part of me asking for love. Let me comfort them. The first voice judges. The second nurtures. The first tightens the wound. The second heals it. Self-talk isn't about pretending everything's okay. It's about acknowledging what's hard, and still choosing to respond with care. Just as a child calms when spoken to with a soft tone, your nervous system responds to self-talk rooted in love. Bedtime safety ritual, tuck in your fear. Let's create a simple, powerful ritual to comfort your inner child and their fears before sleep. 1. Get comfortable. Sit or lie down in a quiet space. Let your body soften. Place a hand on your heart or belly somewhere you can feel your breath. 2. Welcome the fear. Say aloud or silently. Fear, I know you're here. I'm not pushing you away. I'm here to listen. Notice where the fear lives in your body. Breathe into it gently. 3. Name the fear. Give it a voice. I'm afraid of being abandoned. I'm afraid I'll mess up. I'm afraid I'm not enough. Let it be honest. No filters. No judgment. 4. Respond like a loving parent. Now speak back with kindness. Imagine your inner child hearing these words. You're not alone anymore. You don't have to be brave by yourself. It's okay to feel scared. I will always hold you. You are safe to rest now. Repeat these affirmations slowly. Let each word become an anchor of peace. Subliminal enrichment message. Each time you speak to yourself with warmth, you plant new subconscious beliefs. My fear is not a flaw, it is a part of me asking to be loved. I can meet my emotions with compassion, not control. I deserve to feel safe, even when things are uncertain. I am allowed to rest, even if I'm afraid. Your brain rewires. Your heart softens. Your inner child begins to trust because now, they know you will never abandon them again. Replacing harsh patterns with gentle language. Most of us grew up hearing, "Stop crying. Don't be weak. Get over it. You're just being silly." Tonight, you rewrite those scripts. You replace them with phrases that build safety. It's okay to feel this. Let's sit together through this. You don't have to do anything right now, just be. You are safe, and I love you just as you are. These are not just words, they are emotional medicine. Each repetition heals a scar. Fear doesn't need to disappear to let you rest. Many people believe they need to get rid of fear to relax or sleep. But what if the goal wasn't to eliminate fear, but to hold it kindly? Imagine this: a frightened child can sleep not because the fear vanished, but because a loving adult held their hand and whispered, "You're safe. I'm here." That's what your self-talk can do for you. You don't have to be fearless. You only have to be faithful to showing up for yourself with kindness, again and again. Tonight's reflection, the whisper of safety. As you prepare for sleep, close your eyes. Place your hand over your heart. Inhale slowly. Exhale gently. Then speak these words softly. Dear fear, I see you. I will not silence you or shame you. You are a part of me, not all of me. I offer you warmth, not war. You are welcome to rest now because I am staying with you. You are safe. We are safe. Let these words wrap you like a soft blanket. Let your breathing slow. Let your body know it is time to release the day. And as you drift into sleep, remember, your safety no longer depends on anyone else. You've become the safe space. You've become the calm after the storm. You've become the parent you always needed. And your inner child? They are finally resting in your arms, in your voice, in your love. Chapter 6, A Lullaby of Worthiness. Tonight, may every breath remind you, you were always enough. Even when you felt invisible. Even when you were misunderstood. Even when love was withheld. You are worthy now, always, and forever. There's a quiet question that lives in many hearts, often buried beneath the weight of years. Am I truly worthy of love? It's not the kind of question we speak aloud, but it's there. In the hesitation before asking for help. In the guilt after taking a rest. In the discomfort of receiving compliments. In the need to prove, to achieve, to earn affection. And for many, that question took root in childhood. We were taught, directly or indirectly, that love came with conditions. Be good, and you'll be praised. Get it right, and you'll be accepted. Don't be a burden. Don't be too much. Don't fail. So we tried. Oh, how we tried. We became helpers, perfectionists, peacekeepers, achievers, hoping someone would say, "You are enough just as you are." But what if no one ever did? Tonight, we change that. Tonight, we sing a new lullaby to the inner child within the child who wondered, questioned, and tried so hard. The child who didn't need to do more, but simply needed to be seen. The forgotten truth of inherent worth. As children, we looked to the world to tell us who we were. The smiles, the scolds, the silence, we absorbed it all like sponge, shaping our identity around what others reflected back to us. But here's the truth. Your worth was never meant to be earned. It was meant to be remembered. You were born worthy. Whole. Sacred. Complete. No mistake you made, no love you lacked, no scar you carry could ever undo that truth. Your worth is not fragile. It is not conditional. It is unchangeable. Why worthiness feels foreign? If the idea of your inherent worth makes you uncomfortable, you are not alone. Many of us are more familiar with self-doubt than self-worth. We learn to link our value to how much we achieve, how little we need, how well we please others, how much we sacrifice. But the truth is, those behaviors were never proof of your worth, they were cries for recognition of it. You don't need to earn rest. You don't need to earn kindness. You don't need to earn love. You simply need to reclaim the truth that's always been yours. The lullaby ritual of worthiness. Let us begin the nightly ritual that sings your soul back to its original knowing. You don't need music. Your voice is enough. Your breath is enough. One, set the scene for softness. Turn down the lights. Light a candle or play soft ambient music if you wish. Lie down or sit with your hand on your heart. 2. Visualize your inner child. Picture the younger you, perhaps the version that most longed to feel seen. Let them sit beside you in your mind's eye. Let them hear what was never said. 3. Whisper the lullaby. Softly speak these truths. You don't have to do anything to deserve love. You are worthy, just by being you. You are not too much. You are not too little. You are a treasure. Always have been. Even on your worst days, you are still worthy of love. Let these words echo gently. Repeat them slowly. Say them with reverence. Let each sentence soak into your skin like moonlight on water. Subliminal enrichment message. Each time you affirm your worth, even when it feels foreign, your subconscious absorbs powerful new programming. I do not have to prove my worth, I only have to embrace it. My value is not defined by productivity or perfection. I am allowed to rest, receive, and exist in peace. Being me is more than enough. These truths replace years of mental clutter. They plant seeds of self-compassion that bloom quietly, steadily, each time you listen with love. Undoing the lies of unworthiness. Let's gently challenge some of the false stories that may have taken root in you. Lie, I'm only lovable when I succeed. Truth, I am lovable in my stillness, my mistakes, my trying. Lie, I'm not special enough. Truth, I don't need to be special to be sacred. I am whole. Lie, I have to make people happy to be valued. Truth, my value is not dependent on anyone else's approval. Lie, I'm too flawed to be truly loved. Truth, my flaws are part of my beauty. I am worthy, fully and forever. Let these new truths rise in you like waves washing away the sand castles of doubt. Let your soul relearn what it always knew before the world told it otherwise. Receiving worth without resistance. One of the hardest but most healing acts is to receive worthiness without trying to earn it. Try this. When you hear a compliment, breathe it in instead of deflecting it. When you succeed, celebrate instead of minimizing. When you rest, allow it instead of feeling guilty. When you feel loved, receive it instead of questioning it. Your inner child doesn't need convincing. They need consistency, a steady stream of loving affirmations until it no longer feels like a foreign language, but a familiar melody. You are the lullaby now. What if your voice, yes, your voice was the healing song your inner child needed? Not a polished song. Not a loud one. Just the quiet, honest whisper of truth. Tonight, let your voice sing this gentle lullaby. I am enough. I always have been. Even when I felt invisible, my soul still shimmered. Even when I felt unloved, I was still lovable. I am not waiting for someone to declare me worthy. I am the declaration. I am the light. I am the lullaby. I am the one I've been waiting for. Tonight's reflection. As you prepare to sleep, place your hands over your heart. Let your body soften. Let your breath become your prayer. Whisper slowly. Dear inner child, you are not broken. You are not lacking. You are not the sum of others' judgments. You are whole, radiant, and deeply worthy. Tonight, sleep in the arms of that truth. I will keep singing this lullaby until you believe it, too. And so you rest, not because the world finally saw your worth, but because you did. Sleep now in your sacred enoughness. Sleep now in your divine worth. Chapter 7, Playing Again in Your Dreams. Tonight, as you close your eyes, may your inner child come out to play, not in fear or escape, but in joy, wonder, and freedom. Because healing isn't only about soothing the pain, it's about reclaiming the play. There is a magic tucked inside every child, the instinct to play, imagine, explore, laugh, and create without judgment. This spirit is not a luxury or a phase. It's our original language, our natural state before fear, shame, and pressure taught us to be smaller, quieter, or more responsible. And yet, for so many of us, childhood play was interrupted. Maybe we were told to grow up too fast. Maybe we were shamed for being silly. Maybe we were too burdened by family stress, emotional neglect, or trauma to ever feel safe enough to play. But that playful spark never disappeared. It simply went quiet. It curled up inside your inner child, waiting for the day it could safely come out again. Tonight is that night. Because play is not childish, it's sacred. And dreams are the perfect place to let that sacred spirit return. Why play is essential to healing. We often think of healing as hard work, and yes, it can be. But real healing includes joy. It includes laughter. It includes those moments of wonder when your heart is so light you forget how heavy things used to feel. Play is how children process the world. It's how they experiment with courage, test boundaries, feel freedom, and build emotional resilience. When you invite play back into your life, even in your imagination, you signal to your nervous system, "We are safe now. It's okay to smile again." In this space of playful dreaming, your inner child remembers how to live, not just survive. What stole the play from you? Before we welcome joy, let's gently acknowledge what may have stolen it. A home where emotions were suppressed. A school where creativity was criticized. Early responsibilities that left no time for play. Being mocked for being imaginative or different. Internalized guilt for having fun when others struggled. These experiences teach the inner child to suppress their light. But tonight, you whisper a new message. You don't have to hide your joy anymore. You are safe to be free. The bedtime ritual of playful reconnection. Let us now create a nighttime practice to reconnect with the playfulness that lives inside you. You don't need to be silly or theatrical. This is about reconnecting with permission to be fully alive. Step 1. Prepare a calm, cozy space. Turn off bright lights. Lie in your bed with intention. Imagine the night not as an ending, but as a doorway to another realm, your inner world. Step 2. Invite your inner child. In your mind's eye, picture your younger self carefree, curious, full of energy. What did they love to do? Climb trees? Draw? Dance? Build forts? Explore? Smile at them. Say, "Come out, little one. Let's dream together tonight." Step 3. Set a dream playground. Now, imagine a space where your inner child is free to play. A sunlit field. A magical forest. A cozy attic full of toys. There are no rules here, only wonder. Invite your inner child to explore. Follow them. Be with them. Let your breath slow. Let your face soften. Let your heart smile. Play doesn't need permission. One of the most beautiful things about dreaming is that it bypasses the gatekeepers in our minds, the doubts, the schedules, the logic. It creates a space where anything is possible. In your dreams, you don't have to earn fun. You don't need a reason to dance. You don't need to apologize for being weird, wild, or whimsical. You simply get to be. And every night that you dream from this place, you chip away at the old belief that said you had to suffer to be significant. Subliminal enrichment message. As you reclaim your right to play, even if just in dreams, you send deep messages to your subconscious. My joy is not frivolous, it is holy. I do not have to feel guilty for feeling good. I am allowed to be light-hearted, even after pain. The parts of me that once had to hide can now shine. These messages don't just make you feel better. They rewire your mind. They soften your body. They free your inner child from exile. Don't wait until life is perfect. If you're waiting until life slows down to play, you might wait forever. Play is not a reward. It is a birthright. And it can start as small as a smile at bedtime, a memory of spinning in the rain, a silly face in the mirror, or even a dance party in your dreams. You don't have to pretend the pain didn't happen. But you're also allowed to say, "I am more than what hurt me. I am what heals me, too." Letting your dreams become your healing playground. Dreams are not just random. They are where your soul processes what your mind is still learning to understand. Here's how to turn your dreams into a playground for joy. Before bed, say aloud, "Tonight, I invite play into my dreams." Visualize your inner child creating a joyful world where everything is soft, colorful, and safe. Allow whatever comes up: laughter, tears, imagination, or surprises. Over time, you'll notice you start waking up lighter. Because your dreams are no longer spaces of fear, they are playgrounds of rebirth. You deserve to laugh again. There's a version of you that belly laughed, that made up stories, that saw magic in puddles, that danced without rhythm and didn't care. That version of you is not lost. They're just waiting to be remembered. Invite them back tonight. And as you close your eyes, speak gently. Dear little me, come play in my dreams tonight. Let's laugh, build castles, fly through skies. You don't have to hide anymore. You are welcome, wanted, and safe. We'll dream as long as we want. I'll be right there with you smiling. Tonight's reflection. As you rest tonight, reflect softly. What did you love to do as a child before the world told you who to be? When was the last time you felt unfiltered joy? What would it mean to bring just a little of that joy back into your dreams? Whisper these words. My joy is not gone. It is just sleeping. And tonight, it will awaken in my dreams. I am safe to play again. Sleep peacefully. And as you dream, may you run barefoot through your imagination, may your inner child giggle with freedom, and may your heart remember. You were always meant to shine. Not someday. Not when you've earned it. But now. Chapter 8, Reclaiming Joy, One Gentle Night at a Time. Tonight, let joy become your bedtime companion, not as a burst of excitement, but as a soft, glowing ember that warms you from within. Let joy return not loud or forced, but tender and true. In a world that often feels rushed, heavy, or transactional, joy can feel like a luxury or worse, something fleeting and unreachable. But joy isn't reserved for holidays, big wins, or special occasions. Joy is your birthright. It's a natural part of you, just like breath, just like love, just like hope. And yet, for many of us, joy feels distant. Perhaps it was buried beneath layers of responsibility. Perhaps it was lost in the shadows of pain. Perhaps joy was once punished, misunderstood, or dismissed in childhood, and so your inner child quietly learned, don't get too excited, don't get your hopes up, don't be too happy, it won't last. But here's a truth that breaks that pattern. Joy doesn't need to be big to be real. It only needs to be felt. And tonight, as you lie down to rest, you are invited to reclaim joy not in fireworks, but in flickers. Not in grand gestures, but in gentle moments. One night at a time. The difference between happiness and joy. Happiness is often dependent on external conditions, a promotion, a sunny day, a compliment. It's beautiful, but fragile. It rises and falls with circumstance. Joy, however, is different. Joy is internal. It is a quiet steadiness, a deep well you can return to. It lives beneath the noise, beneath the stress, beneath the wounds. Joy is not the absence of pain, it is the presence of light within pain. And when your inner child is given permission to reconnect with joy without pressure, without fear, they remember what it means to feel alive again. Why we disconnect from joy. There are many reasons we unconsciously disconnect from joy. We were taught it's immature or selfish to prioritize it. We were shamed for being too happy or too playful. We feared that joy would be followed by disappointment. We felt guilt for enjoying life when others around us were struggling. We were so busy surviving, there was no space left to feel it. In these moments, the inner child within us makes a quiet decision: it's safer not to feel too good. But what once protected you can now be released. You are not in that same environment. You are not a powerless child anymore. You are your own gentle guide now. And you can lead yourself back to joy. Reclaiming joy, a nightly practice. Reclaiming joy isn't about forcing positivity or pretending everything's okay. It's about learning to notice the small sparks again, the ones you may have missed or dismissed. Here is a simple nightly ritual to awaken joy in gentle, sustainable ways. 1. Create space for stillness. Before bed, take 5 minutes to sit or lie in stillness. Turn off the noise. Let your body relax. Let your mind soften. 2. Ask your inner child. Gently ask, what brought me even a small spark of joy today? Listen. It may be the way sunlight hit the leaves, a kind word, a memory, a song, a warm drink, a quiet moment. Let that memory live in you. 3. Feel it fully. Don't rush it. Let that tiny spark of joy expand in your chest. Smile if you can. Whisper, thank you. I see you. I welcome more of you. 4. Invite joy into your dreams. Before drifting to sleep, say, tonight, I open the door to joy. Let it visit me in dreams and greet me in the morning. Over time, this ritual shifts your inner landscape. Your inner child begins to trust that joy is not dangerous, it's safe to feel good again. Subliminal enrichment message. As you gently reclaim joy, your subconscious begins to integrate this transformative truth. Joy is not a reward, it's a rhythm I'm allowed to return to. It is safe to feel good. My body is not bracing for loss anymore. Small joys count. My life is made of them. I am worthy of joy, even when things aren't perfect. These quiet declarations soften the walls around your heart. They remind you, life is not just about healing wounds, but about remembering wonder. Your inner child and joy. Do you remember the version of yourself who delighted in bubbles, who got excited over a sticker, who found joy in jumping in puddles or watching clouds? That version of you still exists. And they don't need anything fancy to feel joy. They only need permission. Permission to laugh. Permission to daydream. Permission to not have all the answers. Permission to find beauty in small things. When you reclaim joy, your inner child isn't just healed, they are awakened. And with that awakening comes creativity, softness, spontaneity, and light. Joy is a gentle rebellion. In a world that encourages hustle, seriousness, and constant improvement, choosing joy is a gentle act of rebellion. It says, I don't need to be fixed to feel good. I can enjoy life as it is, not just as I want it to be. I refuse to let old stories rob me of present light. Joy is a form of reclamation. Each time you feel it without guilt, without fear, you reclaim a part of yourself that the world once tried to silence. Healing through joyful imagination. As you fall asleep tonight, give your mind permission to wander into joyful memories, real or imagined. Picture yourself dancing barefoot in the grass. A picnic with your younger self under a sky full of stars. Building a blanket fort and reading by flashlight. A swing set that takes you higher and higher. A field of fireflies welcoming you home. Let your inner child play there. Let them rest there. And as you dream, know that your joy is healing more than you realize. Tonight's reflection. Before you close your eyes, place your hand on your chest and breathe deeply. Then whisper, Dear Joy, I know I've kept you waiting. I know I once believed I didn't deserve you. But I do. I always have. I welcome you now, not with pressure, but with peace. Even if you visit in small sparks, I promise to notice. I promise to smile. You are home here, with me. And as you drift into sleep, know this. Joy is not gone. It is not lost. It is not something outside of you. It lives in your breath, in your heartbeat, in your dreams. And you are reclaiming it one gentle night at a time. Chapter 9, Whispers of Forgiveness and Understanding. Tonight, speak to yourself not with judgment, but with gentleness. Let forgiveness be the soft pillow you rest your heart upon. You've carried enough. It's time to let go, not to forget, but to free. Forgiveness is one of the most misunderstood forms of healing. Many of us think it means excusing harm, letting someone off the hook, or pretending things didn't hurt. But real forgiveness, especially the kind you offer your inner child, has nothing to do with denial. It has everything to do with liberation. Forgiveness is not about condoning what happened, it's about releasing yourself from the grip it still has over your heart. It's the whisper that says, I no longer want this wound to define me. And understanding? That's where the true transformation lies. Because understanding is how we gently, patiently untangle the web of stories, fears, and beliefs we've held onto for too long. Together, forgiveness and understanding are not weaknesses. They are powerful, soul-restoring acts of love. What forgiveness isn't? Let's begin by saying what forgiveness is not. It is not pretending something didn't hurt. Saying it was okay when it wasn't. Allowing someone who harmed you to stay in your life. Rushing to move on when your heart isn't ready. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is remembering with softness, remembering without letting the memory crush you, define you, or continue to control you. For your inner child, forgiveness is the moment when the pain stops echoing so loudly at bedtime. It's the moment when peace finally returns. Why the inner child needs forgiveness. The child inside you may still carry wounds that haven't been acknowledged, much less healed. The parent who never said sorry. The teacher who humiliated you. The friend who betrayed you. The sibling who competed instead of cared. Or even, your own self, for things you didn't know then. Sometimes, your inner child is waiting not just for someone else to apologize but for you to say, I'm sorry you had to go through that. I forgive you for how you tried to cope. You did the best you could. This is the kind of forgiveness that doesn't demand justice, it offers freedom. Self-forgiveness, the quiet revolution. For many of us, the hardest person to forgive is ourselves. For staying too long. For not knowing better. For reacting in fear. For trying to please everyone. For the choices made in survival mode. But your inner child doesn't need a perfect parent. They just need one who is kind. And that parent is you. When you whisper forgiveness to your past self, you begin to dissolve shame. You begin to say, I no longer hold this against you. I choose compassion over condemnation. That is a quiet revolution. And it changes everything. The Bedtime Forgiveness Ritual. Tonight, we create a sacred ritual to offer the kind of forgiveness that heals, not erases. Follow this gentle process before sleep. Step 1. Prepare your space. Dim the lights. Lie down or sit quietly. Let your breath become slow and steady. Let your body know, we are safe. Step 2. Invite what needs forgiveness. Gently ask yourself, what pain am I still carrying? Who or what have I not yet forgiven? What part of me still feels ashamed, small, or unworthy? Let whatever arises come without judgment. Don't force it. Just listen. Step 3. Speak the whispers. Whisper softly, either aloud, or in your heart. To the ones who hurt me. I may never understand why. But I release the grip of your actions on my peace. I do not forgive to let you go. I forgive to let myself grow. Then, turn inward, and say. To the younger me. I forgive you for what you didn't know. I forgive you for how you coped. I understand why you did what you did. I see your pain. I honor your survival. You are loved then, now, and always. Let the words echo gently. Let them soften the hardness inside. Subliminal enrichment message. As you whisper forgiveness, your subconscious begins to reframe old pain with empowering truths. I am not my past, I am my presence. I do not have to carry what is no longer mine. Forgiveness does not weaken me, it sets me free. My inner child is healing with every act of understanding. These truths become part of your nightly rest. Over time, they wash away old guilt, resentment, and fear, replacing them with light. Understanding, the missing piece. Forgiveness often feels incomplete without understanding. That's why you're not just letting go tonight, you're looking deeper. You ask, what did they go through that led them to hurt me? What belief did I form in that moment? How can I separate the pain from my identity? This doesn't excuse the harm, but it helps you stop owning what was never yours. Understanding is how you reclaim clarity. It's how you reframe your inner child's story, not as one of damage, but of courage. You don't have to forgive all at once. Forgiveness is not a single act. It is a practice, a decision you return to gently, again and again. Some nights, it will come easily. Other nights, the pain may still feel raw. That's okay. Healing doesn't require speed, only sincerity. You can say, tonight, I'm not ready to forgive it all, but I'm willing to open the door to softness. I choose to try. That's enough for now. Even that intention is powerful. Even trying is healing. Tonight's reflection, a bedtime release. As you prepare for sleep, place your hand over your heart and breathe deeply. Then speak gently. Dear heart, you have carried so much, and I honor your strength. Tonight, I invite peace to replace pain. I forgive not because they deserve it, but because I do. I forgive the past. I forgive myself. I choose softness over shame. I choose to sleep in peace tonight. Let forgiveness tuck you in. Sleep is not just a time to rest, it is a time to surrender. To release what your heart no longer needs to hold. To let forgiveness rock you gently, like a lullaby made of grace. Let tonight be the beginning of a new softness. Let understanding melt the walls around your heart. Let your inner child rest finally, in safety, in acceptance, in love. And as your breathing slows, feel the whisper of these words. You are forgiven. You are free. You are deeply, tenderly loved. Chapter 10, Becoming the Parent You Always Needed. Tonight, step fully into the most powerful role you'll ever play, not for anyone else, but for yourself. Become the parent your younger self waited for. Loving, present, steady. You are the one you've been searching for all along. Each of us carries within us a constellation of unmet needs. Needs for safety, comfort, affection, validation, patience, and presence. And at the center of those unmet needs lives our inner child, still waiting, still hoping, still wondering, will someone come for me? What if that someone is you? This chapter is not just a reflection, it's a rebirth. Because healing doesn't mean erasing the past. It means choosing, moment by moment, to step into your own nurturing power. It means becoming the gentle voice, the kind presence, the loving protector that your younger self needed but perhaps never had. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know everything. You just have to show up with compassion. And that changes everything. What does it mean to parent yourself? Self-parenting is not about controlling your every move or forcing productivity. It's about learning how to love and lead yourself in ways that create emotional safety and personal growth. To parent yourself means to soothe your fears instead of scolding them. Set boundaries that protect, not punish. Make space for your emotions instead of minimizing them. Celebrate your efforts, not just your outcomes. Offer yourself compassion, not condemnation. It is the art of tending to your inner world with care. And the one who benefits most? Your inner child, the one who finally feels seen, safe, and supported. Why becoming that parent is healing. So many of our adult struggles: self-doubt, people-pleasing, Emotional avoidance stem from childhood experiences where we didn't receive the kind of parenting we needed. Maybe our caregivers did their best but lacked emotional skills. Maybe they were absent. Maybe they were overwhelmed, distant, or even unsafe. Whatever the story, the result was the same: we internalized a sense of not being fully held. But here's the beautiful truth: your healing does not depend on them. It begins with you. You can give your inner child the words they long to hear, the safety they never had, the kindness they deserved. And when you do, you stop searching outward for the love you've always had the power to give. Traits of the loving inner parent. Let's define what kind of inner parent your child self needs. This version of you is consistent, shows up, again and again. Doesn't abandon. Loving, speaks gently, even in mistakes. Patient, understands that healing takes time. Empowering, encourages growth without shaming. Protective, sets firm but kind boundaries. Present, listens without judgment or rushing. You might never have experienced this from someone else. But tonight, you begin becoming it for yourself. A bedtime ritual to reparent your inner child. Nighttime is sacred. It's when the noise fades and truth surfaces. And it's the perfect time to parent yourself into peace. 1. Create the feeling of safety. Lie down and wrap yourself in something warm: blankets, soft clothes, a dim light. Imagine you're tucking your inner child into bed. 2. Check in with compassion. Ask gently: what did you need today that you didn't receive? What are you still carrying that I can help you hold? Listen. Then respond with calm assurance. I'm here now. You're not in trouble. You don't have to figure everything out tonight. I love you, even when you're tired or messy. 3. Speak as the loving parent. Let this be your lullaby. You are safe now. You don't have to be strong tonight. I see you. I cherish you. I forgive you. I will never leave you again. Repeat these words until they settle deep into your bones. Let your voice become the very one you always needed. Subliminal enrichment message. As you begin to parent yourself with kindness, your subconscious begins to rewire core beliefs. I am not alone. I am lovingly held from within. I can trust myself to care for me. I don't need to perform to be loved. I am enough even in my most vulnerable moments. These messages reshape your inner dialogue. Over time, the critic softens, the wounds close, and the child within begins to smile again, responding to yourself differently. When a child makes a mistake, a loving parent doesn't say, "You're a failure." They say, "It's okay. Let's try again." You can say that to yourself too. When you're overwhelmed, "Let's take a break. You're doing your best." When you're afraid, "I know this is scary. I'm not going anywhere." When you feel unworthy, "You don't have to earn my love. You already have it." This kind of inner parenting heals more than any achievement ever could. Becoming the safe place you never had. The world can still be chaotic. People may still misunderstand you. Life won't always be fair. But when you become your own safe haven, none of that defines your worth. Your inner child doesn't need you to be perfect. They need to feel protected within you. And when they do, something beautiful happens. You stop looking outward for rescue. You stop needing approval from places that never had it to give. You come home. To yourself. Tonight's reflection, a promise to yourself. As you settle in tonight, place your hand over your heart. Take a few deep breaths. Then whisper, "Dear little me, you don't have to keep looking for someone else to save you. I'm here now. And I won't leave. I will love you when you're sad. I will stand up for you when you're scared. I will cheer for you when you try. You are my heart. My child. My joy. You're not alone anymore. I promise to parent you with grace, for life. Your new bedtime legacy. Each night, you get to rewrite your story. You get to replace shame with support, fear with faith, criticism with care. This is your bedtime legacy. You didn't just survive. You didn't just heal. You became the one you always needed. And that is a miracle. So sleep now, knowing your inner child is finally at rest. They are loved. They are seen. They are safe. Because you came back for them. And you're never leaving again. Final reflection, you are the homecoming. The biggest takeaway. At the heart of this journey lies one powerful, life-altering truth. You are not broken. You were simply waiting for yourself to come home. Every chapter in this book has gently unwrapped the parts of you that were hidden, not to expose your wounds, but to reclaim your wholeness. The inner child within you has longed not for perfection, but for presence. Not for achievement, but for acceptance. Not for a flawless life, but for a safe heart to return to. And now, that heart is yours. You have become the nurturer, the listener, the protector, and the healer you once searched for. The shadows have not disappeared, but they no longer terrify you. You've learned how to hold them with grace. How to leverage this ebook for self-enhancement and transformation. This is more than a bedtime read, it is a spiritual map. A nightly ritual. A life design manual for the soul. To unlock its deepest power, treat it not as a book to finish, but as a practice to embody. Here's how. 1. Create a nightly bedtime healing practice. Every night, revisit one chapter. Reflect, journal, or meditate on the theme. Let your last thought before sleep be a message of compassion, permission, and power. Use Chapter 1 to greet your inner child. Use Chapter 4 for self-apology and healing. Use Chapter 6 to rewire self-worth. Use Chapter 10 to become your own safe haven. Each repetition plants a new seed in your subconscious. Your healing grows quietly, deeply. 2. Record your own bedtime affirmations. Speak the affirmations from each chapter into a voice recorder or voice note. Then, listen to your own voice as you fall asleep. Why? Because your nervous system responds more deeply to your own voice speaking with love. Over time, this softens inner tension, reduces anxiety, and rebuilds trust in yourself. 3. Transform regret into realignment. This book doesn't ask you to forget the past. It invites you to reframe it. Use your reflections on regret not to dwell but to realign. Ask each night, what did I long for as a child that I can now give myself today? How can I live tomorrow more kindly, more truthfully, more joyfully? Let every regret become a redirection to your soul's true values. 4. Re-engineer your focus with love, not fear. We often try to be productive from a place of fear of failure, judgment, or inadequacy. Let this book guide you to shift that energy. Focus not from fear, but from reverence. I do not act to prove my worth, I act to express my truth. Use this mindset to design your days. Begin your mornings by asking, what would make my inner child proud today? End your nights with, did I offer myself enough compassion? Let love not pressure be your motivator. 5. Become more appreciative, even in small moments. Healing does not always shout. Often, it whispers in the softest places, a cup of tea, a deep breath, a memory of laughter. Train your heart to notice these sacred pauses. Start a joy journal, one entry each night of a moment that made your inner child smile. Tell yourself, this moment matters. I matter. Gratitude becomes easier when it's practiced gently, not demanded. 6. Realign with your divine life purpose. Many feel lost in adulthood because they've never been allowed to ask themselves freely, what do I truly want? What lights up my soul? This book is a portal to that question's answer. Each time you reconnect with your inner child, you tap into your soul's unfiltered desires before the world told you who to be. Use those moments of clarity to realign. What were your childhood dreams? What kind of life makes your spirit feel at peace? How can you move one small step closer this week? You'll find that purpose is not about greatness, it's about alignment. 7. Stop looking for ways to diminish yourself. Too often, we spend energy criticizing ourselves, minimizing our contributions, or living in the shadows of guilt. This ebook is a loud and loving invitation to stop. You are not here to shrink. You are here to serve and shine. Self-diminishment serves no one, not the world, not your future, not your loved ones. Instead, reclaim your energy. Speak about yourself as you would speak to a beloved child. Stop apologizing for your presence, your passions, your pain. Begin affirming your gifts quietly, sincerely, consistently. 8. Remember, all is well with God blessed. There is a sacred thread woven through every chapter. Even in pain, even in trauma, even in uncertainty, you were never abandoned. Let this truth be your closing ritual every night. Even when I doubted, I was being carried. Even when I broke, I was being rebuilt. Even when I forgot my light, God never did. All is well. All is blessed. All is becoming whole. Let this be the breath that tucks you in each night. Let this be the compass that guides your mornings. Final words, let this book become a lifelong companion. This is not a story you finish and forget. This is a living practice, one that grows with you. Let it be the warm hand you hold when you feel alone. Let it be the mirror that shows you your original goodness. Let it be the anchor when life feels chaotic. Let it be the bridge from woundedness to wonder. You are not what hurt you. You are not your mistakes. You are not too late. You are the blessing unfolding. So now, breathe, rest, live, and carry this truth with you. I am the gentle guardian of my soul. I am the home my heart has been seeking. And as I heal myself, I light the way for others. All is well. All is blessed. All is beginning now. Reaching RTSG with AI assistance via WhatsApp QR code. Recommended Reinventing Ourselves YouTube video QR code.